school. Okay, there's a lot of different areas of your life where goal setting makes things seem far less intimidating sometimes. Yeah, I want to get a scholarship, or I want to play in the Western League, but geez, what do I do? Well, maybe you take your fitness testing that we've done and you realize that realistically you need to be in the top 10% of this group. So that's a place to start in the fitness testing, the on-ice testing. All that is to be able to measure, sort of a quantitative measurement of where you're at and where you want to go. Okay? We're going to talk, it could be, okay, I want to make the Western League, that's my goal. Well, that's sort of hard to measure how you're doing until that tryout, whether you make it or not. So we're going to talk about sort of small steps along the way, being specific, being measurable, being attainable, being realistic, okay, and putting a time constraint on it. Those were 5 letters I used there. One was an S, one was an M. Attainable, a realistic, and time constraint. Smart goal setting. Okay? I've realized a lot in putting this together as well that that for me some of my goals didn't follow that structure and they seem much harder to attain. So, what is a goal? It's not just where you shoot the puck, but the metaphor is pretty good, right? You have that target, you have that objective, and you're trying to reach that. And they're unique and personal, so we're going to do a little worksheet today that you will hand in. And it's not for the guy sitting next to you, it's not for your buddies on your team, it's for you. So maybe even when we get to that point, we'll spread out a little bit, because this is something that they're very unique and they're very different for every person. And you want to dream big, so you don't want to worry whether your buddy is looking at you over your shoulder saying, you want to play in the NHL? You're never going to play in the NHL. Why would you put that? It's something to keep to yourself. And in this case, Mr. Coughlin and I, something that we can share with you and discuss and see how we're doing. And I think you'd be pretty surprised how achievable some of your goals are if you set out in the right direction. None of you will get where you want to go on your own. You need help. This little dog wanted to get up to the sink, so he needed a little help from the big guy. Ask for it. And it's a pretty neat experience. There's one line in here that really stands out for me. And that's that too many times things don't go well and athletes beat themselves up until they finally just talk themselves into depression. This is one of the winningest hockey players of all time, admitting that sometimes things don't go well and you get kind of depressed about it. So if one of the winningest players of all time can admit that it's not always going to be great, that you're going to lose sometimes and sometimes another guy's going to get the better of you, and it doesn't make you feel very good, and you go home after the game doubting yourself and wondering if you're good enough, that's really normal. So you don't want to be afraid of that. And you realize that whatever you're thinking, all your other teammates have felt the same. All the other guys that have got to the next level have felt the same. And it's okay. Yoga teachers would say, accept it, address it, and move on. Don't try to bury it and think it doesn't exist, those doubts. Okay? And that's where goal setting can come in to really help you stay on track and get over it. Everything's fine when you're leading the team in scoring. Right, Braden? Then it's a piece of cake. But how about when you've tried to get the puck out 3 shifts in a row and your team has gotten scored on 3 times in a row and your coach is yelling at you on your way back to the bench and your dad's yelling at you from the stands? That's when the going gets tough. And that's when you want to have something to go back to and focus on that will really help you. Right? And that could be this sheet that we're going to work on later, taped to the inside of your closet that nobody else sees. And there's some real attainable just around the corner goals in there that help keep you on track.